If you've reached this far, you've completed all the tough parts. You've cracked a great idea, you have a solid outline, your characters are real and three-dimensional, and you've thrust them into the extraordinary world. Now the fun begins. Your story's frame is so well defined that your writing will just flow. The only word to remember for the middle is conflict. Great conflict. Conflict that pushes your protagonist to his breaking point so that more and more of him or her is revealed. Here are some techniques to make that come to life in your pages. The first technique is to break your story into smaller self-contained pieces, each with a mini LOCK structure. If you recall Locke from the first module, there is a lead, he or she has an objective, they face conflict on the way, and eventually there is a knockout. So now just use the same structure and divide your story into smaller sections. The only difference in the mini lock is that the lead will almost never accomplish the mini goal. So he tries again, or he or she gets the goal but is immediately propelled to a new goal, and the same structure repeats itself. In my third novel, for instance, the lead's first goal was to get to the top of the Himalayas to find a guru. He faces severe conflict in the form of a blizzard on his hike up and doesn't accomplish the goal. He regroups, has another goal. He has to make it to the top of the mountain this time. He hikes again. This time he does reach the top but realizes the man he's searching for is not there. So again he sets himself a new goal of finding this man in South India, and so it goes. The story is continuously engaging because the lead is always striving for a goal. The conflict keeps escalating, and with each conflict, whether he wins or loses, the character grows and transforms. This is exactly what the reader wants to witness in a story. My second tip is to keep building the conflict to a crescendo until the lead faces an all is lost moment. This is the sign that the middle is wrapping up and the climax is beginning. So what is the all is lost moment? That's when the protagonist has used all his or her physical and emotional resources to accomplish his or her goal but still fails. This is very important because it raises the stake for the climax. How will the protagonist, who the reader is deeply connected to now, recover? The reader is completely immersed in the fictive dream, and you're ready to deliver a knockout blow with the climax. You see this again and again in the Harry Potter series. Harry is pushed to the maximum breaking point until he finds some deep reserve within himself to prevail in the climax. My third tip is to completely avoid all force majeure or acts of God in the book. This is a very common mistake that debut novelists make. They rely on coincidences to move the plot along or resolve an open plot point. The moment that happens, the fictive dream breaks. Immediately, the reader can sense the presence of a puppet master, a writer writing the novel. And no matter how interesting your coincidence, how well thought through your twist, the reader is detached from the story. If you do want your story to take surprising turns, just follow the protagonist into the extraordinary world. Let him or her react and make decisions that push him into surprising places. Gone Girl, for instance, Gone Girl has many surprising twists, but they all feel consistent because the characters have shown a history of irrational behavior. At no point does it feel that the writer manufactured a plot twist. Related, coincidences render the characters important. And as we've learnt again and again, characters who are not proactive will make any story fall flat. So in summary, break the middle into smaller lock units. Keep increasing the conflict to a crescendo until the lead doesn't seem to have anything left to give. And finally, avoid all coincidences, all hands of God completely. Keep these at the back of your mind and set yourself loose. The middle is the most fun part of your writing. Have as much fun as you want with it.
चैनल को डेफिनेटली सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। हर हफ्ते स्टार्टअप्स, मेडिटेशन, राइटिंग या लाइफ में नए नए चैलेंजेस कैसे लें, इस पे 2 या मैक्सिमम मैं 3 वीडियो बनाता हूँ। सब्सक्राइब कीजिए ताकि आपको सबसे पहले एक्सेस मिले।